beautiful, beautiful people. Welcome to another live stream. I hope you're all doing very, very fantastic tonight. I missed you guys. Tonight we're going to be I don't want to say this is like one of those motivational rant streams because it's definitely not. But we are going to talk about, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit. We're going to talk about testing yourself a little bit. Now, I always say here on the channel that it's more than okay, right, to go at your own pace, because it is. I'm not going to set the pace for anybody and their recovery. But we do want to talk a little bit, right, about testing yourself. And then out beside that, you'll see that I've got written there, you might surprise yourself, right? You might surprise yourself. So that's what we're going to be talking about on tonight's stream. I hope you're all doing well. What is up, guys? First, you got first in chat, dude. Congrats. I just want you to me. I don't know, but hello, Jesse. I don't know what you're saying, but hello. I missed you. Hope you're doing well. Let's pull up the comments on my end while we wait for chat to fill up. Go ahead and get those pulled up. We'll send out another notification real quick. Real quick, we'll send out another notification. We'll get started in just a little bit. How have you been, Jesse? How have you been, dude? Catch me up. It's been a while since I've got to talk to you. How have you been, man? What is up, Ghost? Welcome. Third in chat. What is up, dude? Hope you're all doing well. I know this is a bit of a late one. Needless to say, right, you guys are not going to be shocked by this, but needless to say, I've kind of got a crazy sleep schedule going on. So we're here. We're late, but we are here nonetheless. Yo, howdy. How you doing, dude? All right, let's see. While we wait for chat to fill up a little bit, we will drop some links real quick. And then once we're done with that, we might as well go ahead and get started. Hey, what's up, Riley? How you doing, dude? I was just watching another one of your old videos. Hope you're enjoying it, man. What's up, Arnold? All right, there's that link. Let's see here. It's been a while. King of the North has been in chat. It has been a minute. I've missed Jesse. Who doesn't miss Jesse, right? All right, beautiful people. No need to really wait around any longer. Let's go ahead and get into the point of tonight's stream. And the point of tonight's stream is don't be afraid to test yourself a little bit. And then out beside that, I've got you might surprise yourself, right? You might just end up surprising yourself. Now, if you've watched my streams for a while, you've heard me say something, right? You've heard me say a certain line over and over again, which is, don't be afraid to go at your own pace, right? Go at your own pace. Nobody can set the pace for you. Nobody's telling you that you've got to be at the top, right? Nobody's telling you that you got to be at the top. Nobody's telling you that you got to go at a certain pace. This pace is up for you to decide on what you want to set. So tonight I kind of want to give you that same message that yes, it's more than okay, right, to set your own pace. But at the same time, don't be afraid to test yourself a little bit. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there a little bit. So the thing about anxiety recovery, we talk about the two main keys all the time, right? We used to call it don't follow your thoughts. Now we call it the accepting attitude, whatever the case may be, to have that accepting inner voice towards these thoughts and feelings and live your life. The brain learns by watching you. That's what we talk about all the time. But some people get to a point, right? They get to a point during their recovery where they're just not, what's a good way to put it? They're just not willing to go out of their comfort zone a little bit with whatever the situation may be, whatever the case may be. It's different for everybody. People get to a point where they're just not willing to, another good way to put it is press their luck. They don't want to press their luck. That's kind of how people view it, right? They say, I'm doing okay, but I don't want to press my luck. I'm doing okay, but I don't want to do that just yet. Something bad might happen, or, I'm doing okay, but I don't want to take a chance on that. Right? So, people kind of get into a habit, especially with anxiety, right? Obviously, of playing it safe. And that's why tonight I just want to tell you it's okay if you test yourself a little bit. It's okay if maybe you think, okay, maybe I'm not, maybe I can never get the hang of this thing. Maybe that's a little bit too much for me. I don't know if I want to quite do just that, right? And you might stay stuck in that mindset for quite some time unless you get into a new habit, okay, of just pushing yourself a little bit. Now, again, I don't want anyone to watch this and assume that I'm trying to say that you should conquer the world overnight. I'm definitely not. And I don't want anyone to watch this and assume that I'm going back on what I've said about going at your own pace. I'm definitely not. However, I do want you to realize something. You might just surprise yourself if you do go and try something new. If you do this thing, whatever that thing may be, it's very personal for each and every one of you. If you do go and do this thing that you've been putting off, or maybe 9 times out of 10 when you're anxious, you do a certain compulsion or coping method. But today you're going to try something new. You're going to try something different. Don't be afraid to experiment a little bit. Right? Don't be afraid to push yourself a little bit. Don't be afraid to try something new. Okay? And the reason in the title that I've got out beside of that is you might surprise yourself, is because you wouldn't believe how many times the anticipation, right? Now, this is a big one, and I think everyone can agree on this. You wouldn't believe how many times the anticipation of doing something different or trying something different, or whatever the case may be, the anticipation of that is so much worse than actually doing it for most people, right? For most people. And that's why I've got you might surprise yourself up there, because you wouldn't believe how many times I've had someone come to me and say, oh God, I sat around and worried about, doing this thing, or I sat around and worried about changing this, or I sat around and I worried about trying this new behavior, this new thing for so long, and then once I actually did it, yes, it was a little bit uncomfortable, yes, it was new, and yes, it was a bit scary, but wow, I can't believe I did that, right? Wow, I can't believe I actually went through with that. So a lot of the time, for most people, the anticipation of trying something new or doing something new is far worse than actually doing it. And then they do it and they end up surprising themselves. So if you're kind of stuck in a rut, right? If you're kind of stuck in a rut where you need to make some changes, or you want to try this thing, or you want to try that thing, and you're kind of living with the mindset of, oh, I don't want to push my luck, right? I don't want to, that might be a bit too much, right? If you're kind of living with that mindset, I'm not telling you that you have to, conquer the world overnight, but what I am telling you is try to break out of that mindset as much as you can. You can start small, right? There's no harm in starting small, but understand that mindset of, oh, I don't want to press my luck, I'm going to play it safe, can be very debilitating itself, and could lead to a life of negative habits. It can lead to a life of not really doing the things that you want to do. So the whole point of this stream tonight is to let you know that it's okay if you want to try something new. It's okay if you want to go a different route. It's okay if you want to mix things up a bit, right? And sometimes, a lot of time, most of the time, right, that's needed for growth. It's needed for growth. It's good for growth. Of course, you will face some discomfort when you make these new choices. But again, that's why I've got that at the end of the stream title up there. You might just surprise yourself, right? Most people do. The anticipation, and I know I've already said this several times, is so important. The anticipation leading up to this new behavior, this new change, this new thing that you're going to go after, 9 times out of 10 is worse than the actual thing. And then people come to me and they say, wow, I can't believe I did that, or I can't believe, that actually happened. And yes, it wasn't necessarily fun, but holy crap, I did it. And honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Now, some people are probably wondering, what are you getting at? Are you telling us don't be afraid to push ourselves on what topic are you getting at? I just mean in general. Let's say, for example, maybe you're not even sensitized. You just always, there's a certain habit that you've got, right? Whatever that habit might be, every time you feel emotional, you need to resort to some sort of safety-seeking behavior, right? Maybe you want to work on that. Maybe you want to change that up a bit. Don't be afraid to test yourself. Don't be afraid to, face that discomfort. Maybe there's somebody that you want to talk to, right? You're too afraid to talk to this person. Don't be afraid to, push yourself a little bit and put yourself out there and be vulnerable a little bit. Maybe there's a new healthy lifestyle choice that you want to get into, but it makes you a little, the thought of that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. You're not used to it. Don't be afraid to try it out, right? And you might hear Nova, she's playing with her toy. I don't want to get her too hype. We'll avoid saying her name, but if you hear her, feel free to ignore that. But you get what I'm getting at. I'm speaking in, in a broad sense here, right? Whatever that thing might be. Maybe we are talking about anxiety. Maybe you're sensitized and you can apply this to the advice. Maybe even the thought of using the advice makes you a little bit uncomfortable, right? It probably will. So you can apply this to anything in life. I want to talk to that person. I want to put myself out there and be vulnerable. I want to start to carry myself in a new way. I want to break that habit. I want to pick up a new habit. Whatever the case may be, anytime we think of change, we tend to get, feel discomfort. We tend to get uncomfortable. And the point of tonight's stream is to let you know that, in order to grow, you do have to face discomfort. And that's okay. In order to grow, you do have to face discomfort, and that's okay. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to push yourself a little bit. Now, I don't mean to the extreme, and I'm not saying you can't take small steps. You can. But don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to take some steps, right? Even if they're small steps. So it is more than okay to do that, right? If you are living by this playing it safe mindset, right, it's not going to serve you in the end. It might serve to keep you comfortable now, right? But it's not going to serve you in the end. It might serve to keep you feeling safe now, but it's not going to serve you in the end. It's okay to break out of your norm, right? She wants me to play with that toy so bad. It's okay to break out of your norm, and that's really the point of tonight's stream. All right, you guys, you might just end up surprising yourself. Do you hear this dog? You might just end up surprising yourself. Okay, and that's really the point of tonight's stream. I just wanted to come on here and try to motivate you guys a little bit, to try to get you to understand that it's okay to go out of your norm. It's okay to try something new. You might end up surprising yourself at the end of the day, and that's ultimately how you're going to grow. In order to grow, you have to face some sort of discomfort. Yes, you can go about this in smaller steps if you wish. Nobody can set the pace for you, right? But my main point here tonight is it is okay to test yourself a little bit. All right, you guys? So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. We'll switch on over to the post stream. I don't have my music ready for tonight, so that is unfortunate, but we will get some pulled up in just a second. Let me see here. Who do we got in the chat with us tonight? We got Kate. What's up, Kate? Tacos. Oof, I want some tacos. How's everybody doing? That's a trick. You won't feel like it, but then how you know if you like that things? You won't feel like it because it's out of your norm, right? And you'll never know if you're going to like this or like that unless you try it, right? So people are comfortable in their norms, and they're unwilling to change that because it requires maybe some discomfort, or it requires, facing some discomfort. So people are unwilling to change their norms, right? And they tell themselves things like what you just told yourself. Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to try that new thing I'm curious about because, what if I don't like it, right? So you just kind of stay in your norm. You don't want to, not that you don't want to grow, but you just don't grow because it's easier to just stay in the norm. But if a part of you wants that growth, you can have it, but it does require facing some discomfort. We're gonna switch over to the other mic real quick. All right, there we go. Hey, Wonder Bro, how you doing? Edward, welcome to the stream, dude. Hope you're having a good one. I'm actually glad that Nova ripped the squeaky part of the toy out, or else that would be really loud, really loud.
Someone says, right now the discomfort is being forced upon me. It cannot be helped. It doesn't need to be helped, right? The discomfort doesn't need to be helped. The anxiety doesn't need to be helped. There's nothing you need to do, about that feeling. Okay, and we get into that. We start to talk about people being unwilling to feel discomfort, and you say you're doing the best that you can with it, which is great. Um, but we are under, this false illusion that if I feel a certain way that I don't like, right, I need to fight that tooth and nail in order to change that. And all that happens is extra stress. You don't actually change anything, right? You don't actually change anything. All that happens is extra stress. Yeah, I had to switch to the other mic real quick. I mean, you try it and you don't like it because you can't enjoy it because of the feelings. Well, you'll never know. You'll never know unless you give it a try. You'll never know what change is waiting for you or if you're going to enjoy said change unless you give it a try and stick to it. Do you personally want to do this or want to do that? Don't let the feelings dictate it, right? You're letting the feelings dictate whether you want to do this or do that. The feelings don't have to dictate what you do, right? Feelings don't have to dictate everything that you do. You might have to turn your mic is low. I like the all caps. You might have to turn it up a little bit. That happened to me today in VC. So yeah, you don't have to let your feelings determine everything. I don't know. I read that really in a funny way in my head. Don't worry, don't worry. We will switch back to the other mic here in just a second. Happened to me today in VC. Well, like I said, your feelings do not have to determine everything. Your feelings do not have to determine what you do. You don't have to let your feelings dictate everything. And a lot of people do live in that way, right? My feelings say this, so I'm going to do the action that is in line with the feeling. A lot of people let that kind of dictate it. I know the mic is low, but I can't do anything about it right now, guys, but I promise, I promise I'm going to switch back to the other one just a second. Just a second. Let's see. Let's see. Thank you for letting me know. Give me just a second. Just a second. Funk attack today in the lunchroom, but was able to actually say, I feel good, do your best. I feel you. Okay, never mind. I feel you, do your best. Bring it on. I got through it. You got this, dude. You got this, Sky. Let me see here. One second. We will fix this. We will fix this. All right.
There we go. All right. All right. All right. We should be all good now. We should be all good now. Should be all good now. All right. All right. By the way, your mic is low. I don't know if someone told you. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I had no idea. I had no idea. But thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thanks for the heads up. Can't hear shit. Unsubscribe. I'm with Bo on this one. He says you're still subscribed. I didn't even know you were subscribed to begin with. What do you mean? How are you doing, Riley? How are you doing? Let's see. Let's get some music going. Let's get some music going, shall we? Have to sit through an ad for a second. That's okay. This thing is causing so much background noise. How are you doing tonight, Sky? A skull and a meat. You know, I will never forget that term for as long as I live, more than likely. That'll probably stick with me forever. There are degrees of stress, and some people may have crumbled in my situation. I am stronger than I thought. You are stronger than you think. Absolutely. Absolutely, 110%. That's why I wanted you. That's the main reason I wanted to point out in the title of the stream. You know, you might surprise yourself because a lot of people don't give them, give themselves the credit that they deserve. There's a lot of, there's a lot of examples and there's a lot of moments where people actually overcome a lot of different things and do things that they didn't think they were capable of. So a lot of people are out there with the mindset of playing it safe, and a lot of people do not give themselves credit for the things that they have been able to overcome or the things that they can accomplish. And they're just playing with that mindset of I want to play it safe, I don't want to press my luck sort of deal. But you can surprise yourself. You really can surprise yourself. You really can surprise yourself. You absolutely can. 108 days. Dang, yes, it is insane, Ghost. How are you? I'm doing good, Sky. My apologies. Want to row for any permanent damage? No, actually, that is probably my favorite term that exists now. Why is it so hard to do things how I want, not how I feel? You know what I'm saying? Because that's your norm, right? That's your comfort zone, so to speak. A lot of people think comfort zone is just like a physical location. Comfort zone is a mental attitude. Comfort zone can be the way that you behave because that's what you're used to, that's what you're comfortable with. And even though you want to do other things, and even though you want to, grow, you don't, because that's what you're comfortable with. That's what you're used to. That's what you know. So you might desire change, or you might desire behaving or doing things in a different way, but because of what you're used to and because of what you're comfortable with, you just don't, right? And that's really what the stream was all about tonight, is trying to get people to understand that, you might surprise yourself if you try to break out of that box a little bit, right? You can go at your own pace. It's okay to go in smaller steps, whatever you choose to do, but you will surprise yourself. But yeah, that's why people kind of stay stuck in that, gauntlet of the same lifestyle, over and over and over again. It's just what you're used to. It's just what you're used to. It's your comfort zone. Oh man, I'm tired as fuck. What's up, Staller? But we'll listen tomorrow morning. Good night, Wonder Bro. Good night, Style. Thank you for stopping by and popping in and just saying hello. I appreciate it. So there's that part of the equation. It's just what you're used to. It's just what you're you could say miserably comfortable with, right? There's that part of the equation, and then there's a few other things. It could be that you're afraid of what might happen if you put yourself out there. Will a bad thing come of it? There's different things that kind of hold people back from growth. But I would say the biggest one is that made up comfort zone, being used to what you're used to. Right? Change is not necessarily something that comes easy, so just being used to what you're used to. And then, like I said, maybe there's some fear there of what might happen if you go a different route, right? If you go a different way. Oh, you're not going to take off running, right, Arnold? And that's why it takes true dedication. That's why it takes true dedication. You go against anxiety's advice. You think that's supposed to be fun? Of course not, right? You think going against anxiety's advice at first is supposed to be fun? Of course not. So that's another reason why people resist change, because it's not fun. It's not comfortable at first because you're going against your norm. It doesn't make you feel good at first. It requires facing discomfort, right? So they just don't do it. It's easier just to not do it, right? It's easier to just not do it and stay where you are, but you're not going to grow that way. You're not going to grow that way. So that is another reason why people tend to resist change or trying something new, is because it's not fun at first. You're going against anxiety's advice. And that's not supposed to be fun, right? Your brain's going to be like, "Oh my God, you're not functioning and doing the things that you normally do, and that's freaking me out, man." And then and because of that, you're like, "Oh, sorry, I will just go back to what I've been doing for so long." Right? And then that's how people kind of get stuck in that cycle of not changing behavior. So, but rest assured, if you stick with it long enough and you do the things you want to do, not what your anxiety wants you to do, eventually that'll become real for you, and your brain will catch up over time. But it does require facing discomfort. It does require that, and I was about to say, unfortunately, it requires facing discomfort, but that's not unfortunate. That's just how the game is played. It's just how things work. You don't have to look at it as an unfortunate thing, right? Hey, Wonder Bro, it's Mindy again. What's up, Mindy? I think I failed myself again. I thought I had a toothache and refused to leave my house for 2 days. I was afraid it'd become infected and I'd be effed. Let's see. What do I want to say about that? So you thought you had a toothache, and because of that, you didn't leave the house for 2 days. I don't think that's really worth beating yourself up over. In fact, I don't think any mistake is worth beating yourself up over. I'll say that. I don't think any mistake, right, is worth beating yourself up over, because for one, you can sit around and worry over a mistake and beat yourself up over a mistake. That doesn't bring us about change, right? There's a difference between kind of holding yourself accountable for something and beating yourself up over something. So I would say that's definitely not worth beating yourself up over. If you want to learn from that experience and grow from it, absolutely. Of course, I'll always recommend that. But do I think it's good for you to say, wow, I really effed myself on this one, right? Do I think that's beneficial to anybody? No, absolutely not. And like I said, I think everything I just said would apply to really any situation, not just yours specifically, but really any situation where people might think that they've made a mistake. I would say everything I just said would apply to that. I want to level up like a mofo. That's what I like to hear. I don't even know whether I still have anxiety. Just don't feel like I do, but maybe it's just underlying because I feel body is just somehow stressed. Well, I mean, you've been through a lot, right? If you're in recovery and you're practicing the advice and you're trying new things and you're changing your lifestyle, I mean, that's a big deal, right? You've been through a lot. So the fact that you might still have some accumulated stress in your body or kind of feel it in your body is not unheard of. In fact, it's very, very common for people to be kind of tired or exhausted or still kind of feel the effects of that, anxiety. As long as you're sticking to the advice, it doesn't really matter what's there in the body and what's going on with that, as long as you're sticking to that advice. It's like I need to teach myself how to talk with people, and you can, right? You can teach yourself anything. You can try new things. You can put yourself out there. How many people here are antisocial because of their anxiety? I would say a lot, and the only way through that is to do it, right? That's the thing. And I know that's not the most satisfying thing in the world to hear, because who wants to hear that? Like, oh, so I'm dealing with something that's uncomfortable, something that I don't necessarily like, and you're telling me the only way over it is to do things that are not in line with that, but are in line with, who I want to be, and face that discomfort. You're telling me that's the only way? I don't like hearing that. I understand that. I wish, I could come on here and say, hey, if you want to be a certain person, you don't have to work for it. You can just continue doing the same behaviors, the same lifestyle that you've had all this time, and it'll just fall into your lap. I wish I could say that, right? I wish I could tell you guys that. Unfortunately, that's just not how it works. It's just not how it works. The truth of the matter is, if there's a certain way that you want to be, if there's a certain lifestyle you want to live, if there's change that you want to make, it requires facing, sometimes, I'll be blunt, a lot of discomfort, right? But I will say this, it is well worth it in the end. It is well worth it in the end. So we don't really beat around the bush here. I will tell you, yes, changing your lifestyle is uncomfortable. I will tell you, yes, doing different things will make you feel scared. I will tell you, yes, living in a different way is going to make you feel kind of on edge, or even a lot on edge, right? A lot on edge. I'll tell you all that, but I'll also tell you that it's worth it in the end. It's worth it in the end. You only get one life. I say go for it, right? Nobody can do it for you. Right, that's another good point to make. Nobody can do it for you. It's not just going to fall into your lap. But with all these things considered, I'll let you make the choice if you really want it or if you don't. Jesse, with that sweet advice tonight, man. I have already said it once, but I missed you, Jesse. How have you been? My social anxiety stems from not wanting people to notice the physical symptoms, and I feel like that's the case for most people with quote-unquote social anxiety. They have this fear of embarrassment or whatever the case may be. Whatever your fear is, it always comes back to, I'm afraid something bad, X or Y, might happen, right? And the only way over that is through that. Dude, I cannot pronounce your username, so I'm just gonna call you Mop. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? Can I just call you Mop? Does that sound all right? Because if it's all right with you, that's what we're gonna do. Because I've been in my head trying to pronounce your name and I can't do it. What's up, Wonder Bro? It's been a long time. What's up, Edward? How you doing, dude? I know we've got 2 Edwards in chat, right? We used to have 2 Edwards in chat, but I haven't seen you in a while. So now we got 2 Edwards back in the chat. How you doing, dude? I vaguely remember your name, and I know we used to talk about having 2 Edwards in chat. It has been forever. It's been forever. How are you doing? How are you doing, dude? How are you doing, Cool 4? I try to surround myself with positive people. The negative people will bring you down every time. I mean, you're not wrong. Yep, it's me. I'm doing better. I opened a general construction company. That's awesome, dude. Congrats. True that, and I've been good, Wonder Bro. Been moving around, got into a nice white neighborhood, so I'm the scariest thing here. But I found a waterfall. I sit in meditation on it, so it's nice to enjoy. That's awesome, Jesse. I'm glad you're doing good, dude. It's been a while since we've had the opportunity to catch up. Had a baby boy named Jesse James for my favorite cowboy band. That's awesome, man. That is awesome, dude. But yeah, I've been watching you becoming the master of acceptance. You are the master of acceptance, Jesse. You are the master of acceptance. Hey, I hope you're doing good tonight, Cool 4.
Donation.
Oh, that scared me. That scared me. Alright, that one made me jump a little bit. The first one always does, because I always leave the headset cranked all the way up. Figures 718. Thank you so much, dude, for the $20 tip. No tip note. $20 tip from Figures 718. Thank you so much. Show them some love in the chat. I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My man, I appreciate you. Navigating the world is part of life and what makes it interesting. To know happiness, you must also know suffering. That is a very good quote. I like that. Can't have sunshine without a little bit of rain, right? I tweeted something like that earlier. Something along those lines. Thank you again, Figures. If we could show them some love in the chat, I would really appreciate it. It requires hard work and patience and facing the things you hate. Absolutely. And that's really what we've been talking about tonight. Somebody was asking in the chat, you know, how is it that you go about change? How is it that you go about a new lifestyle if facing that new lifestyle makes you uncomfortable? And we got into a bit of a discussion about how, well, there's no way around that, right? You have to go through that. Instead of around it, you have to go through it. So if you see it as growing pains rather than a bad, horrible thing, it'll make it a lot easier on you. So I would tell myself that quite constantly. Hey, this is growing pains. Hey, you know, you're facing this discomfort. Hey, this is growing pains, right? It's so easy to put the label of, I don't want this, this is bad, this is horrible, make it stop, on these thoughts and feelings when you're going through that change, right? It's so easy to put that label on it. So tonight, you know, we've really just been talking about how instead of putting that label on it, put the label of growing pains on it. See it as just a part of the process rather than something that you don't want to face. That way you can feel a sense of accomplishment during instead of a sense of, oh God, I hate this, right? So you can see the big difference in the mindset there. And sometimes that mindset can have, you know, it can make all the difference in the world. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate you. Thank you again for the $20 tip. I appreciate you. Strutting hard. Hope you're doing good tonight, Sky. Thank you, Kate, for showing some love to my boy Figures. Kate, I miss you like a fat boy miss cake. Oh, Jesse. Oh, Jesse. What have we done without your comedic relief here? We have just barely survived. So good to see you, dude. So good to see you, my man. Is it just me? Is it just me? Maybe I'm just forgetful, but is there a lot of new faces in chat? I feel like there's a lot of new faces in chat tonight that I've not seen before. I feel like there is a lot of new faces in chat that I've not seen before. I'm good, Vacate Fear. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for the shout out. Absolutely, dude. I think Cool 4 is a little behind on stream, maybe. I feel like I gave them a shout out forever ago. Maybe they're a little behind. But new faces, new faces. Either I'm forgetful or we have a ton of new faces in the house tonight. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. Maybe you've been here for a while and it's your first time commenting. But if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe up. We try to do these streams pretty frequently, so I'd love to see you again. I'd love to see you again. And thank you guys, every single one of you, for taking us to 108 days on the streak. That is absolutely crazy. I don't know what else to say about that besides thank you so much. I never thought in a million years I'd be saying 108 days. Wow. I miss Kate like a squirrel misses neon. Squirrels like neon? Is that a thing? Is that a thing that I'm just not aware of? Been subbed for a while, but never caught the live stream before. Okay, that makes sense. Well, thank you, dude. Thank you for joining, and thank you for the $20 tip, man. I really appreciate it. Means a lot to me. Aw, man. Edward, dude. Edward. Let me verify this real quick, but we've got a $35 tip from my boy Edward. Thank you so much, dude. You guys know I can't do basic math, but what does that put us at? 55, I believe. 55, I believe. Thank you so much, Edward. Can we show him some love in the chat? That breaks tip goal, guys. We are moving on to 109 days, almost at 110. Absolutely insane. Can we take a second just to show some love in the chat, man? I'm really, really grateful for all of my tippers. I appreciate the support. It's always optional, but the fact that you guys do it anyway, man, it means a ton to me, and I really, really do appreciate it. If we could show some love in the chat for Figures for the $20 tip and Edward for the $35 tip, thank you guys so much. Puts us at 55 and moves us on to 109 days. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you. Show them some love. Show them some love. I appreciate it. You beautiful people, I appreciate it. Oh, okay, that's what we're talking about when we say squirrel with the neon. Got it. I forgot that emoji combination there, the squirrel with the neon blocks. All right, I'm on track now. I'm on the same page now. We're all on the same page. All love, bro. Absolutely, dude. Thank you so much for moving us on to the 109-day streak, man. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. And I hope you've been getting along well. I hope you've been using that advice, dude, and I hope you've been growing. Thank you so much again. Drop a like, absolutely. Thank you for reminding everybody, Jesse. I'm the worst for that, but if you guys don't mind, I would appreciate if you drop a like on the stream. It really does help the channel grow. Thank you so much for all the love and support tonight. I really appreciate it. I know there's a lot going on in the world, right? And we could all use a little bit of support, a little bit of advice, and just a reminder, right, of everything that we talk about here. So good stream tonight. Good stream tonight. I appreciate it. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. You might not see that now. You might not feel that now, right? change can be very uncomfortable. Change can be, that's saying the least. Change can be very uncomfortable, and going through this life in a new way and trying new things can be scary, right? It can be scary, but that's why we have this community here, so that we can support one another. Everybody can give everybody a pat on the back and say, hey, you got this, because you do, right? You do. A lot of people tend to forget. They think, oh, look at this guy, Wonder Bro over here. He just learned about acceptance and just ran with it, and that's far from true. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of practice, took a lot of ups and downs. It wasn't a perfect process by any means, not even close. So don't forget that, I've been right where you are, and it's all a learning process, and it's got its ups and downs, and things don't always go according to plan. And recovery and changing your lifestyle and becoming this new person that you want to be is not something that happens overnight, and it's not something that happens without failure, right? So don't be too hard on yourself. This is a very much a normal part of the process, right? Stay on track the best that you can. Understand that good days are going to happen, bad days are going to happen, right? It's all a part of it. And if you see it like that, instead of through such a negative lens, you'll be much better off in the end. You'll be much better off in the end. So understand that. Keep your motivation high. Keep your dedication high. Don't hold yourself to impossible standards, but do keep your dedication high, right? You are capable. You can make real changes. You can make better choices. You can change your lifestyle. It's going to take some work. It's going to take facing some discomfort. It's going to make choices that might make you feel comfortable. You have to make those choices. Understand that this is all very much a part of the process and very normal, right? So the community's got your back. I got your back. Make some changes. Make some different choices and grow, right? Grow. It might not be a fun process, but it's well worth it. Might not be a fun process, but it's well worth it. Might have to face some discomfort or a lot of discomfort, but it's well worth it. Be proud of yourself. See it as an opportunity. Don't see it as a bad thing. See it as an opportunity, right? All right, you beautiful, beautiful people. We are approaching that 1 hour mark. We're going to get our song ready. We haven't listened to our song in a hot minute, so we're going to get our song ready. Thank you guys so much for coming out to tonight's stream, man. I really appreciate it. It was a good one. We got to sit through a quick ad real quick before we get our song going. But if you did enjoy tonight's stream, guys, make sure you leave a like. I would really appreciate it. Thank you again for all of your love and support. Let's go ahead and get that song going, and I'm sure I'll see you beautiful people all very, very soon. And until next time, as always, stay awesome.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Yeah. Did it die? Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did Did it die? My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No, did it die? Wait, did it die? Wait, did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait, did it die?